What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. So yesterday was Cyber Monday and a lot of sales are wrapping up today, but I wanted to go over some of the last minute sales from Nintendo, as well as talk about a big new sale that was just started from Sony. Also, we're going to be talking about a big game that has leaked out online, and this time, it's actually not from Nintendo, and we're going to be talking about a new Marvel game that's been spotted that might actually get me to play an MMO again. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawn Wave channel, make sure you subscribe down below and ring that notification bell so you can keep up to date with all of the uploads here on the channel. And we're going to start today with Halo Infinite. We know 343's plan for this game is like a 10-year roadmap, and it's a free-to-play game for the multiplayer, which means they're going to have to continue to add more and more events going forward. And it looks like we're probably going to find out about some of these events a bit early with data mining that takes place. For example, you can see this tweet here. This from Santa Ricky saying, Halo Infinite Ritual Leak, Tactical Ops. Test your aim in a high-stakes battle. This from February 8th to February 21st. And we can see some of the rewards here. It's not all of them because we know, of course, the current event goes through 30 ranks. So this would be the first 10, and we can see an armor coating in there, the visor, a helmet, an emblem, and then a bunch of experience boosters and a couple of challenge swaps. That's the one annoying thing about some of these is you end up just getting these experience boosters and challenge swaps for like half the levels, right? Obviously, you want the new gear and the new coatings and all of this, but also it looks like we're going to see 343 start to implement some changes here, potentially starting this week. We can see this tweet over on Twitter from Jerry Hook, who is the head design at 343, saying, yes, I am still playing Halo and feeling everyone's pain on progression. We are back at it next week, and this will be top of my list with the team. And the one thing I've said about 343 is they are very open to criticism, feedback, and working to make the game better. They did a lot of work with Master Chief Collection, so I do believe that Halo Infinite's multiplayer will get better as we go along. You just have to make sure you voice your opinion and your feedback with Halo Infinite so we can get an awesome Halo Infinite multiplayer, not just from gameplay, because I think they've accomplished that, but also from the progression side. Also, we just talked about that Chrono Cross remaster or remake that's currently being rumored. Well, it looks like we have a bit more evidence pointing to this actually being a thing. We can see this over on Reddit for another Eden, the global Reddit for it, saying that they found files internally for the game through data mining that's pointing towards a Chrono Cross like collaboration that they're going to run with this game here pretty soon. And there's a lot of things falling into place now. There's also been talks about the possibility of Forever Entertainment maybe doing this remaster or this remake. And it does make me think we're building up towards this reveal potentially at the Game Awards. I mean, we had heard that, okay, there's some sort of big remake or remaster being shown off by Sony at the end of this year over the holiday. Here comes the Game Awards. Here's this big rumor around Chrono Cross. I kind of think all of this is falling into place for that big grand reveal on that stage, but I guess we won't have to wait too much longer to find out. Oh, and here's an interesting story around Cyberpunk 2077. It went on sale on Steam, and naturally when this happens, you see a lot of people start to try the game out essentially because they're like, all right, look, it's cheap enough, I'll take the plunge here, and it looks like the roadmap of hot fixes and patches that they've been implementing over the last year is starting to pay off for them, as there was a massive flood of positive reviews as they had a spike in sales and people are trying it for the first time. Now, when the game came out initially, it wasn't at all in a good shape, right? It was crashing, people were bugged out of quest lines, and they weren't able to progress further, and some of the glitches were funnier than others, but it was clear that the game was not ready. It seems that the game probably would have at least been within reason now after all of those bug fixes, and they're starting to finally see maybe a turnaround on Steam with this game. It's actually moved it up to like a very positive ranking on Steam with over 15,000 positive reviews coming in after the sale. And I am curious where we eventually get to with Cyberpunk 2077. I don't think it was this big revolutionary game, even if it was like 100% working when it first came out. But I do look at it and say, okay, if it didn't have all those bugs and glitches, it was a good game. So maybe in the next couple of years to get the next gen patch, we look back on Cyberpunk as being a much better game than when it launched. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. Let's start right away with the different sales that are going on right now. One about to finish out and the other one starting up today. Let's head over here. This is on Nintendo's sales and deals page. I've already gone over some of these, but like I said, I wanted to just remind you in case you had seen some of these sales and you're thinking you'd come back to them, you might want to act fast because the sale will be ending tonight, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. These are the cyber deals from Nintendo. We'll just kind of scroll through them here. Mario Odyssey, Monster Hunter Rise, Persona 5 Strikers there. We have that one at $30. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, Bravely Default 2, Sonic Colors Ultimate, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, the list really goes on and on and on here for Nintendo, even from a first-party side, but even Castlevania Advance Collection that had a ton of value at $20 down to $15, I think worth checking out. There are also several third-party sales that were going on with the cyber deals ending later on tonight. We have Ubisoft, which of course has some Assassin's Creed entries, as well as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, the complete edition, Capcom cyber deals, which Capcom had some pretty good ones here, especially if you've been curious about the Devil May Cry series. Not a bad way to go there. Those 10, and then 11 for Devil May Cry 3. And of course, all the Resident Evils are in there. Really, I think if you're taking a look at any of these companies that have compilations like the Legacy Collection 2 from Mega Man X, those are great to pick up because you're already saving money on a bundle, and then you start splitting them up and realize you're getting a lot of the games for like $2 or $3. EA's list includes the highlight of Unravel 2 at $3.40, or even Burnout Paradise at $12. And then Sega and Atlus have their own section here, as well as Konami. All of those running out later on tonight. But on the other side, with Sony, they are running their end of year special where they have a ton of games. There's like 37 pages on their website of different games that are marked down up to 80% off. Now, this sale will be ending on December 23rd. I started going through and just picking out some games here and there, but like I said, there is a lot to go through, so we're just gonna kind of scroll through some of the pages here as I go down a list that I made here. We have Saga Frontier at $20. Left Alive, the game isn't good, but it's down to $9, and it is one that I have actually looked at and been curious about, so I don't know, it might be worth $9 just to have some fun there. Final Fantasy VIII Remaster at $10. Infamous First Light at $9. That is a game you can just jump into. You don't need the other Infamous games or anything like that. It's a standalone expansion, and it's very good. Deus Ex Mankind Divided at $4.50. Shining Residence at $9. We have basically all the Shenmue games here. Shenmue 1 and 2 at $6, and then Shenmue 3 at $6. Vanquish at $10. Sniper Elite 4 at $6. Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive Experience at $5. Then all the Castlevania and Contra collections appear to be $5 each. But like I said, there's a lot to go through there on the PlayStation Store, so leave your best suggestions down below. And obviously, the Nintendo sales, you want to take advantage of them today before they run out later on tonight. Next up, let's talk about a big game that has leaked out early, and that's Halo Infinite. It kind of sounds weird because like, oh, I'm playing Halo Infinite now with the multiplayer. This is about the campaign, and this is a big deal for a lot of people, especially after Halo 5's campaign. A lot of people were looking forward to what's been described here as that semi-open world, almost Metroid Prime-like experience with the world that they've built out on Zeta Halo. So most of us looking forward to December 8th don't want to be spoiled ahead of time, and I'm sure there will be a review embargo that goes up a couple days before, and then we're gonna have to be careful about spoilers after that point. We have seen the previews, which covered some early parts of the games, a couple of missions here and there, but nothing too groundbreaking when it came to the story itself. But you can see this posted up over on Twitter saying Halo Infinite physical copies are starting to appear early, so be wary of campaign spoilers from here on out. Halo Infinite campaign launches December 8th. And I think a lot of people are almost forgetting at times that, yes, there are still physical copies out there for these Xbox games. I just see a lot of people think, oh, okay, I'll get it on Game Pass, and to be honest, I'm gonna buy this game physically because I buy all the Halo games physically, and I like to just collect them. So Halo Infinite, I'm buying day one, and yeah, to see this already get out there is a bit nerve-wracking because it's something we've been waiting for, to get back to playing as Master Chief, basically, in a world that sounds very compelling for people who've been playing the Halo series, that this being such a big departure for what they are describing as this semi-open world experience for Chief. And then we see the previews, which are very good. So I'm excited to jump in, but like I said, I'm concerned that, you're just going through Twitter and there's some sort of spoiler right there in front of you. I mean, there are a lot of things that we're expecting to go down here with Halo Infinite. And that's the biggest reason I wanted to bring this up here, just to make you aware that early copies are floating around. I guess they just broke street dates somewhere, and we've seen this happen a lot. The good news here, I guess, is it's not going to be as widespread or distributed as what we've seen with the Switch, where you get one copy out there, somebody dumps it and then just uploads it to the internet and everyone starts downloading it and playing it on their modified Switch systems. But still, you could see someone upload gameplay or just go live and randomly start streaming the campaign, and then you'll see a lot of websites and places start to pick up on it, and before you know it, you could have different chunks of the campaign spoiled. So be careful out there, because most likely you'll be scrolling through Twitter and seeing something, or you'll go to a website and it'll pop up there, or even YouTube thumbnails. So good luck to everyone out there. Here's hoping we get to December 8th without too much issue. Next up, let's talk about a new MMO that appears to be in development currently for the Marvel Universe. Take a look at this over on VGC. They say an MMO based on the Marvel Universe is in development at DC Universe online developer Dimensional Ink Studios, according to an investor presentation. This was spotted on Twitter by Miller, saying EG7, that's the EverQuest DCUO devs parent company, released their Q3 21 financials and confirmed the unannounced AAA Marvel MMO that appeared in the GeForce Now leak, and which had previously been canceled in 2018 as the studio faced financial hardships, has officially been revived. They say the new AAA Marvel MMO is being developed by Dimensional Ink Studios and spearheaded by CEO Jack Emmert, whose lengthy resume includes DCUO City of Heroes and Villains, wow, that's taking me back there, and Marvel Universe Online, which was also canceled before release, though ultimately succeeded by Marvel Heroes. And this is pretty exciting because DCUO, when it first came out, was a blast to play. I kind of fell out of it though, because it does take a lot of your time up to continue with these different MMO RPGs. But I really enjoyed DCUO when it released as you just bought it. Like, it was something you actually had to buy up front. It wasn't a free to play game then, and eventually they rolled it out to be free to play. But I remember specifically the cinematic for that game, the opening cinematic, was incredible. Let me know if you remember when that released. There was super hype around this, and me and a bunch of friends at the time at the store I was working with played through a good chunk of it. We were just having such a blast with it. So yeah, I would love to see their take on the Marvel Universe, and of course, different things that they've learned throughout their time working on DCUO, I'm sure could be applied here. Like, would it just launch as a free-to-play game, or would they do something where you pay upfront, similar to New World right now, which has really caught fire? So exciting stuff, certainly something to keep an eye on here with a brand new Marvel MMO. Like I said, I don't really get into a lot of MMOs, but if this looks really good, I'll probably be trying it out. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about Pokemon Shining Pearl and speedrunners, because it looks like people are already getting through this game in about half an hour. Which sounds crazy maybe, because I'm still playing through this game and it's a lot of mashing A, but it is not 30 minutes to get through it, nowhere near that. I think Pokemon right now, average time is over 20 hours. But yeah, people are beating it in about 33 minutes. In fact, there's the entire speed run on YouTube, which you can see some of this here. This is from Worcester, and yeah, there's a lot of glitches and things that they are taking advantage of here to get through it. Like, they're not just running through and mashing A really fast or something. They have to do quite a bit, which even included them quitting out of the game and going back in, all of which was being timed, even interrupting different scripts in the game through what looked like them going through an open menu. And this would actually cause you to not have any Pokemon encounters or trainer battles to load, which of course allowed them to skip things like the final Elite Four. And it appeared that they were also surfing around a lot. It was a strange playthrough. It was an impressive playthrough, I will say that. But yeah, 33 minutes or so, and there's that whole discussion around Metroid Dread being too short. Well, people are beating Pokemon in 30 minutes. No, it is always fun to see what speedrunners are able to accomplish in some of these games. I would have never thought that a Pokemon Shining Pearl can be beaten in 33 minutes or so. And yes, a lot has to happen to do that, but it's still really cool to see that it is possible in the first place. And before we go to the comment of the day, we're taking a look at the poll that I posted up yesterday, where I asked, if you were able to find a PS5, which version did you get? It looks like 83% of people got the disc version, the $500 one, and then 11% got the digital PS5, and then 6% just said, I'll take both of them. I do kind of think that we're just seeing more disc-based versions pop up in stores overall. Like, I mostly see the disc-based versions online as opposed to digital, and that's the one I got, was the disc-based one. I just didn't have a lot of interest in the digital one at this time because I didn't want to be locked into Sony's store. I like the idea of, well, what we're seeing now with like Black Friday and Cyber Monday, where I can pick up PS5 games like Tales of Arise physically for $30. So yeah, you see the sales actually be a little better this year physically than digitally, and it's nice to, of course, have the game itself on your shelf, just in case down the road we see Sony decide they want to shut down the PS5 store when the PS8 is out. And we'll finish up with the comment of the day, as you're seeing here. This is from Vice saying, I hope with 13 Sentinels coming to Switch, that's a sign that Atlas is opening up to multi-platform games. They did seem surprised, that being Sega, during their investors briefing they had when they talked about the success of Persona 4 Gold, and at least interested in the idea of doing more multi-platform games, because they were so surprised that people on Steam wanted to buy Persona 4 Golden, a game that had only ever been released on the Vita. They put it on the PC and they're like, whoa, people are buying this? Maybe we should do more. Yeah, maybe. So at least 13 Sentinels is making the jump to the Switch, where I think it'll do well enough. Like, they don't have crazy expectations. They were pretty happy with 500,000 copies for a highly niche title. But yes, I see people now thinking, oh, does this mean that Persona 5 could jump to the Switch? I mean, for me at this point, why not? I feel like most people who wanted to buy it on the PlayStation probably have, and yeah, there are quite a few people, I'm sure, on PC and on Switch that would get a kick out of playing it there too. So unless there really is some sort of deal between Sony and Atlas and Sega for Persona 5 to stay on a PlayStation system, then I don't see why they wouldn't do that. And ladies and gentlemen, let's go to here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button, really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here today, whether there's the sales from Nintendo ending later on today or Sony's sale going until December 23rd. Of course, leave some suggestions down in the comments, or even Halo Infinite leaking out early. Are you gonna be avoiding spoilers, or are you someone who's gonna run right towards them? And then a Marvel MMO. Is that something you'd be interested in? Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.